G'day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how the AGL Limit Breaker Vegito does in the Cell Max event. Now AGL Limit Breaker Vegito is pretty cool. He's a really fun kind of unit. I think probably one of the better designed Super Dragon Ball Heroes units to come out over the years. He does have like a window where he's exceptional, you know, like really strong. That's those first 6 turns where he's got that extra 30% crit, that extra 30% damage reduction. You know, those are like super strong periods for him. And with some of the like latest 2-phase red zones and things like that, he's really been doing well in kind of handling, you know, those kind of situations, being really strong in these like, yeah, how can I say, in these like big time situations where he has that damage reduction, he has all those abilities. Now, for me, to be honest, I think the fact that he has China Power or crossover is pretty good. I think it's a good way for them to reduce his dependency on crossover. With that being said, Giant Power also doesn't regularly get buffs, so you know, you're basically looking at Super Saiyan 4 units and Giant form Saiyan units. It's not like it gets a huge amount of buffs, so you know, you can't just, how can I say, you can't just be like, oh well, you know, hey, it all works out, it's all working out great. You know, Vegito is so strong, he's going to stay strong forever. Unfortunately, because he is on 2 categories that don't get buffed all the time, there is a chance that he'll probably fall off, just due to the fact that he does require crossover or giant power. If they threw in a fused fighters requirement as well, I would say maybe there's scope for him to really last quite a while in the meta. But as of this time, I do think, you know, there is a little bit of drop off expected in the future. With that being said, this guy's awesome. He's just a lot of fun to use. He's just really strong defensively. He's, you know, really good offensively. His active skill is great. It makes him really strong defensively, like super strong. The turn you use this active skill, it counts as a super attack. So you'll see Vegito rock like 600, 700k defense, and also have 60% damage reduction in that turn, if you use it obviously within his first 6 turns, which by the way is pretty close to being indestructible. I believe it's indestructible. We're going to obviously test it out. He's about to take one of the, if not the strongest tech super attack in the game. And yeah, you know, he won't die. Like, that's the thing. He's not going to die. He's going to soak it up and we're going to be fine. So he is really good. And even after his 60% damage reduction drops off, he is still good. It's not like he's bad in any way, shape or form. He's still great. The only issue is, realistically speaking, that he unfortunately suffers from having to then move into the second slot. So you kind of have to construct your team keeping this in mind. Again, it's not the absolute end of the world, but you know, you do probably then have to facilitate or factor in a different first slot unit. That's just how it is. It's, again, not the end of the world. It's something that's quite manageable. I think Vegito's great. Like I said, personally speaking, you're going to see him here. He's going to eat huge damage from Cell Max. This is type disadvantage. This is not supposed to be a situation where he can, you know, tank the super, basically. You have to have an incredibly high amount for raw defense or damage reduction to eat supers like this, and obviously 60% is high. But yeah, I mean, it's very good. You know, people will say, oh, well, you know, it still took like 400k. Remember, he has essentially just a massive amount of type disadvantage. So, realistically speaking, if this is any other unit in the game, he takes less damage. And I think that's very impressive. Not to mention, he also does huge damage as well, because he's got all that crit kind of building up. And not to mention that this Vegito didn't even have the luxury of having physical Vegito next to him, who is like hand in hand one of his best pairing partners and supports, who also can be pretty tanky. Yeah, I think overall it's just very impressive. So for me, Vegito is awesome. I think he's great. He's a ton of fun. He's a really awesome unit. I love using him. And yeah, just have a great time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.